Okay. Bonjour, Mino Gigi Jeb, Elizabeth Indigenicas, Janganashimoan, Anangi Kwe Indigo, Misquagamiwi, Saga Iganing Indun Jaba, Makwa Indu Dame. Oh, Mino Gigi Gada Guajing. I wanted to thank you all for coming today and joining me in this yoga flow practice. Today, and what I was explaining in my language is my English name is Elizabeth. My Ojibwe name is Star Woman. I'm from Red Lake, Bear Clan. I actually live here in Little Rock. And today for our yoga flow practice, I will be introducing 3 different vinyasas. And vinyasas are just a set of movements that we do together. I think we have one more person coming on. Bonjour. I can't see who the new person is yet, but bonjour, new person. So today, if you have a space with a mat, if you have a yoga mat, get that ready. We may or may not use a block, but if you don't have a block, if you have like a water bottle that's pretty sturdy, that's about this size, you can use that as well. I will give an option to use our bodies as support as well. So if you don't have either one of those, that's okay as well. So like any practice, like any movement or exercise practice, just go at your own pace. Listen to your bodies. If you feel like you can challenge yourself in a pose, do so. But of course, back off if you feel if your body's feeling like it needs to take a break. And one of the best positions to take a break in is child's pose. Let me show you what child's pose looks like. So child's pose, if we get down on our mats, knees about the width of our mat, feet, the tops of our feet down, arms out in front of us. Just relaxing. This would be child's pose. If you need a break, this is a great pose to kind of compose yourself and get some more energy.
Hey, Liz?
Yeah.
Yeah, just be sure to move the chair. Okay, got it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate child's pose if anybody needs to take a break. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get started. So everybody come to the top of your mat. Feet about 6 inches apart, arms at your sides. If you like, you can close your eyes. Sometimes I need my eyes open though, because I get a little wobbly with my balance. But if you're feeling stable, perhaps close your eyes here at the beginning. And just notice your breath. And at the beginning of every yoga practice, we start with our breath work. So just notice what it feels like on your inhale. And on your exhale. With your feet firmly planted, again about 6 inches apart, about hip width distance apart. Arms at your sides, palms facing outward. And on your inhale, bring your arms overhead, palms facing each other. And on your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We'll do this again, arms at our sides, palms facing outwards. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And from here on out, we'll do our breathing just through our noses. So with your lips closed, inhale, through your nose, arms overhead. And on your exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. And just keep going at your own pace. Inhale, bringing your arms overhead. Exhale, hands back down to heart center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, heart center. And at your own pace, do 3 more breaths. Here's your last breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. All right. Arms back down at your sides, palms facing outwards. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Stretch your body up, and on your exhale, forward fold. Bringing your hands down close to the mat and just hang. Keeping a little bend in your knees if you need to. And feel that forward fold stretching in the back of your legs, your hamstrings. And if you are able, bring your hands down to the mat. Upper body relaxed, head relaxed, shoulders, arms just hanging. If you like, perhaps grasping your hands at either elbow, just letting your upper body relax in your forward fold. Feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. And on your next inhale, bring your hands in front of your feet, down to the mat. We'll go into our first runner's lunge. Right leg steps back. Left knee is stacked over our left foot. Left hand on the outside of our left foot. Right hand close to the edge of the mat. Runner's lunge on our left side. Then bring our left leg back to a high plank. And for modification, come down to your knees in that high plank, keeping your upper body straight. And make sure your hands are about right underneath your shoulders. And on your inhale, come down to chaturanga push-up. Back up to high plank. And then chaturanga push-up to up dog. And do our best to keep our shoulders down. We don't want them up like this. Try to keep them down a little bit away from your ears. Look up, gaze up in front of you towards the ceiling or towards the sky. And on your next inhale, engage your toes and push back to down dog. And in down dog, you can bend your legs a little bit to get that stretch and push kind of like you're pushing your mat forward with your hands almost to get your body stretching in the upper part of your body. You'll feel it in your shoulders. And since my legs are kind of long, I have to bend my knees to get that good stretch. And on your next inhale, walk your legs back to the top of your mat. Forward fold, body just hangs. On your next inhale, bring your hands to heart center and round up. Bring your arms to your sides, palms facing out. I'm not sure how the camera angle is on this one, so I'll show you. We're bringing our arms overhead, and we're actually going to interlock our fingers and release our pointer like this. Arms overhead. Inhale, extend up, and on your exhale, do a little back bend. Come back up to standing. Arms back down at your sides. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll do the same runner's lunge on our opposite side. So with your hands on the mat in front of you, bring your left leg back this time. Right knee is stacked over your right ankle. Hips are square. We don't want to get kind of wonky. We want to keep our hips strong, hips square. Hands, right hand on the right side of your right foot, left hand close to the edge of your mat. On your next inhale, bring your right leg back to high plank, and then come down to modified position, keeping your back straight. And for these chaturanga push-ups, make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders, so it's a very narrow push-up that you're doing, and you're grazing your ribs as you come down. So come down to your chaturanga push-up, back up to high plank, and then chaturanga push-up, and then come to up dog. Gaze is in front of you, up towards the ceiling. We'll engage our toes again behind us and push back to down dog. And pushing the mat in front of us again, getting that good stretch in our shoulders, perhaps bending your knees to get that stretch. On your next inhale, walk your feet back to the top of your mat. Feet about hip width distance apart. Forward fold, relaxing your upper body. And then bring your hands to heart center and round back up. Hands at your sides. We'll come into our little back bend. So bring your arms overhead, interlocking your fingers, releasing your index overhead. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, back bend. And bring it back up to standing. You're hungry? There's a sandwich. You can make a sandwich. Okay. All right, arms back down to your sides. Hands at your sides. That was our first vinyasa. Okay, we're getting into our second vinyasa. All right, arms overhead. Forward fold. Letting your body hang just a little bit. And on your next inhale, flat back, bringing your hands to the top of your shins. Your body is in like a perpendicular 90-degree angle. And forward fold. And then flat back again, perpendicular angle. And from here, bring your fingertips to the mat and walk your feet back to high plank. Again, come down to your knees for modification. Hands directly underneath your shoulders, that narrow push-up with your elbows grazing your ribs. Come down to chaturanga push-up, high plank, chaturanga push-up, Push through to up dog. Whoa, a nice stretch in your lower back. Engage your toes. Come back to down dog. Walk it out a little bit. That's what we call walk the dog. Just bending your right and left legs, feeling the stretch in your calves. From here, we'll kick our right leg up, bring it through, in between our hands. Left hand close to the edge of your mat, right hand on the outside of your right leg. Hips are square, hands to your hips. And modification for this would be to drop your left knee down. So a modification for this is to push up to crescent lunge. And the other way, that's the modification. So the other way to do that is to bring your hands to your hips and push through your right quad up to crescent lunge. From here, bring your hands back down to the mat and drop your left knee if it's not already there. And just imagine your two legs on two different railroad tracks. So make sure they're not all in one track. We're on two different tracks, right angles in both legs. Hands at your sides. Bring your arms overhead, interlock your fingers, release your index, tuck your chin, and round down. Come back up, pressing through your left shin for stability. Inhale, extend up. On your exhale, do a little back bend from here. Bring it back up. Hands on either side of your right foot. Push your right foot back to down dog. Walk it out a little bit. We'll do the same thing on our left side. Bring your left leg up and bring it through in between your hands. And from here, for the modification, bring your right knee down, or keeping your leg engaged, bring your hands to your hips and push through that left quad up to crescent lunge, bringing your arms overhead, palms facing each other, gaze right in front of your hands. And bring your hands back down to the mat, dropping that right knee down, legs on two different railroad tracks, legs at 90-degree angles. Bring your arms overhead, palms facing each other, interlock your fingers, tuck your chin. On your inhale, extend up. On your exhale, round forward. Bring it back up. Inhale, extend up. On your exhale, back bend. Pressing through that right shin for stability. Bring it back up. Hands back down to the mat. Push your left leg back to down dog. Walk it out a little bit, getting that stretch on either side. And walk back up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Hands to heart center and round up. So at any point in time, if you need a break, take a break, get some water. So that was our second vinyasa. We're going into our third vinyasa now. Arms at your sides, palms facing out. Bring your arms overhead. On your exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. And bring your fingertips down to the mat. Walk your feet back to high plank. And if you would like a more challenging way to do your chaturanga without coming down for the modification, again, this is the modification. So from here, your chaturanga, back up to high plank, chaturanga, push the up dog, bring the tops of your feet down to the mat, gaze is up, and really the only place making contact is the tops of your feet. Your legs are above the mat. It's just the tops of your feet. From here, pushing back to down dog, you can roll your toes. But again, for the modification, just flipping your toes back, engaging your toes to down dog, and push through. Push like you're pushing your mat in front of you to get that good stretch in your shoulders. All right, so right side, bring your right leg up, bring it through, in between your hands on either side of your foot. Gaze is in front of you. From here, plant your left foot at a 45-degree angle behind you, keeping your glute, everything engaged on your left side, and windmill your arms open, pushing your body up to warrior one, warrior two. So from warrior two, your arms are parallel to the ground, palms facing down, gaze over your right fingertips, and then gaze over your left fingertips. Flip your palms open in front of you, and come down to triangle. And your gaze is on your left arm, your left hand up towards your ceiling, towards the sky. Your right arm is just rested on the inner part of your right leg. And from here, bring your hands back down to the mat. I'm gonna change my screen. I think something happened to it. Sorry. So come back to down dog. We'll do the same thing on our left side. All right. Left leg comes into the air. Bring it through in between your hands. Plant your left foot. And bring your left foot in between your hands. And then plant your right foot at a 45-degree angle, keeping your quad engaged, making sure everything is strong and stable through your right leg. And windmill your arms open to warrior two. Gazing over your left hand. Arms are parallel to the ground. Body is aligned. Not so much like this, but straight. And then gaze over your back, fingertips. And then flip your palms open in front of you. And rotate your body down to triangle, keeping your gaze up to your right fingertips, or up to the ceiling, up to the sky. And bring your hands on either side of your left foot. And bring it back down to down dog. And here is where, if you have your block handy, or water bottle, or I will give an option where you don't need either one of those. So from down dog, we'll bring our right leg up. Foot is flexed. Then point your toe and open your hip to the right, keeping your arms and your shoulders square. We're just opening that right hip. Bring it back toe is flexed again. And this time, bring it through at a very narrow stance. So probably like 2 to 3 feet in front of your left foot. And just walk your hands back to your right foot. And from here, bring your hands to your hips and push through your right leg, right quad, right glute. Come up. Hips are square. Right arm is propped on your right hip. And bring your left arm up into the air. And we'll hinge forward, finding that block. If we have a block. And having a flat back. If we don't have a block, we can rest our left hand on top of our left shin for stability. And from here, we'll do a little twist, twisting from the bottom of our spine all the way to our shoulders, looking to the right, and if we can, opening our shoulders up to the right. And bring your hands back down to the mat in front of you. Push your right leg back to down dog, and we'll do the same thing on our left side. Left leg comes into the air, foot is flexed, then we point our toe, open our hip, keeping our shoulders square. We'll feel the stretch in our hips. Flex our toe again, hips are square again. Bring our left leg forward about 2 to 3 feet in front of our left foot is 2 to 3 feet in front of our right. Walk your hands back to your left foot, hands to your hips. Push up, flat back to standing. With your left arm and your left hip, bring your right arm up straight and hinge forward, looking for that block again. To have a flat back in this position, or on your shin in this position. We'll do our twist again to our left this time, starting from the base of your spine all the way up to your shoulders, twisting, opening your body up to the left, perhaps gazing towards the ceiling, towards the sky, over your left shoulder perhaps. And come back down, hands to the mat in front of you. Bring your left leg back to meet your right, down dog. Get one more good stretch in your shoulders, perhaps walk the dog a little. And we are actually done with our vinyasas. So from here, after you've gotten the stretches that you need to, walk your feet back up to meet your hands. Forward fold, just kind of let it go. And if you notice, perhaps you're able to fold forward a little bit better after the work that you've been able to do to get some flexibility back in your muscles and your joints. And just hang here for another breath. On your next inhale, hands to heart center, round up. Back to mountain pose, equal standing pose. So that was our third vinyasa. And these are just the introductions to the 3 vinyasas. And since today is just an introductory class, the next pose that we will do is what we do at the end of every practice, which is Shavasana. So if you just come to a comfortable seated position first, just come down slowly. Maybe your legs bent in front of you like this. And a good way to ease down to your mat is perhaps holding your knees in front of you and just lowering your back vertebrae by vertebrae onto the mat. Coming down slowly, engaging those core muscles a little. And then all the way down to the mat. Oops. Let me adjust a little bit so I can fit. With your legs with your legs straight, your toes perhaps splayed out a little to the sides, your arms at your sides, palms perhaps facing up. And we'll come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. And at this point, we give our bodies the opportunity to rest and rebuild, which is so essential to our body's health. And especially after this new work that we've just done. And we'll come to our final relaxation. Ooh. Almost. Final relaxation, focusing on just releasing any stress or tension we may still be holding on to. Starting at the top of our heads, just relaxing our eyes, our jaw, our neck, just feeling the support of the mat. Down through our shoulders, just releasing any more tension we might be carrying there in our shoulders. Down through our arms, to our elbows, our hands. Just releasing, especially in our hands, any tension we might still be holding on to. And then down our spine, down to the base of our back, through our hips, down our quads, to our knees, just feeling the support of our mat, holding our bodies, all the way down to our feet. And just take a few breaths, a few moments to acknowledge this work we just participated in, giving our bodies this time to rest and rebuild. As you are ready, perhaps start to bring little movements back, starting with your toes and your fingers, wiggling your toes, maybe rocking your feet from side to side, or your wrists. And coming to either your left or your right side, just roll over to one side, so like a fetal position. From here, on your next breath, push your body up to seated. And coming to a comfortable seated position. At the end of our practice, we acknowledge the light within others and the light within ourselves. And we say, Namaste and miigwech. Thank you, ladies, for practicing with me today. I'll come up here, and if you have questions, or perhaps next time when we meet, that was the first set of the 3 vinyasas, and we'll do both the first and the second set next time. And then there's different specialties to work on our backs, perhaps our hip openers. There's definitely some core work we can do. as well as I'm sure other things I'm not thinking of. And then there's another class that I know a few of you have participated in before, the gentle yoga class, and we'll do our gentle yoga classes on Fridays, and then our more active classes on Thursdays. And I know there were a few requests for tomorrow's class, I believe, for like hip openers, and I can't remember if it was back work or there was something else, but I'll have to look at my notes. But is there anything for this class on Thursdays that anybody might want to work on next time? And if you have ideas and you want to send them to me later, you can do that too. But sometimes it's nice to just relax after class. You don't have to have a big conversation.
Look at my yoga hair.
oh gosh, I'm sweaty.
Oh, that was really great. I really appreciated that. I didn't realize how the downward dog would feel on my hips. Okay. But it felt really good. I was trying to stay in there longer than you asked, because I was like, oh, so good.
It felt so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that, but it's been a while since I've been in a yoga class, so this one was a good intro back into them, and then it felt really good anyways. So
good.
Yeah,
Same here.
yeah.
I haven't been doing mine that much either, so yeah, I worked up a sweat.
Yeah, and I did notice too how different I was from the first pose to at the end of the pose was when we're hanging there. What is that called?
Oh, let's see, forward fold.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know
did
the
notice.
name for it. I still have to work on my Sanskrit.
Yeah, I don't know any name either. I just but I noticed what a big difference it was from the beginning towards the end. I was like, holy, my hands are pretty much like laying on the
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a good session. I'm really excited about future Thursdays. I was thinking halfway through, I should ask my mom to join too. So
yeah,
next time.
I think my mom has been on every single class with me. Yay!
That's so nice. That's so good. But yeah, I do like the hip openers. I think for me that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
And then I noticed like my back was feeling really good with some of those back openers too. So
nice.
But I'm down for whatever. All body work is great.
Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. I'll hopefully see everybody next week. And if you would like to check out the class tomorrow, it's a slower paced class tomorrow. It's I call it gentle yoga, and sometimes we do most of the poses in the chair. But I think tomorrow we might try some poses on the mat, but it'll be a lot slower than this one. So, all right. Big wobble, and see everybody later. And
Elizabeth, thank you.
Oh, sure. Thank you for coming, Caitlin. Yes.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll be brave enough to do my video.
Oh, sure. And at some point, that one of the ways that I loved having Zoom classes was from another teacher teaching me was if I can have a model that's doing the poses, I can actually watch you guys and I can give you feedback. So that's another option down the road.
Awesome.
Yep.
For sure. Thank you.
All right. See you.
See you.